All right, I'm recording now. We've got to stop all of our nonsense. Not that there was nonsense going on in here, because there definitely was not. All right, so notice that on this one, I don't have it going between 1 and -1 anymore. What do I have it going between?
Decimals.
3 and -3. Did you just... What is up with you guys? I'm like, it's not between 1 and -1, and you guys all were like, oh, God. 3 and -3. I can't. We just got upset about decimals. But I'm sure you feel better about fractions, right? You like fractions better than decimals? Actually, I kind of do.
I don't know. It depends.
Like, because I hate it when kids are like trying to do something with like 1/3, and then they put 0.33 in their calculator and start calculating with that, and they get angry when it's off later. Like, for example, what's 1/3 of 6?
2.
2 is 1/3 of 6, or 6 divided by 3, right? But if you were like, let's figure out what 1/3 of 6 is, so I'm going to type in 0.33 times 6, and they're like, no, it's not 2, it's 1.98, and I'm like, it's 2, and they're like, no, 0.33 times 6 is 1.98. You were very wrong, Ms. Nussbaum. It's like, well, no, because 1/3 times 6 is definitely, oop, I didn't do that, 1/3 times 6 is 2. Or 6 divided by 3 is 2. Anyway. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to make a tangent graph. So let's do this nice and slow. I did say that tomorrow we're having a quiz, right? But the nice news about that is that you'll have some extra time to do this homework as well. Okay. And it's not crazy homework. It's actually going to feel a lot easier than it has before. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start graphing these. Do you remember do you have your unit circle out? Yeah, what do you divide?
Sine by cosine.
Sine divided by cosine. Which is which one divided by which one? Y divided by x. Okay, so the first one we're going to figure out is 0, which is 0 divided by 1, which is 0. Okay, so we're going to start with 0. And then the next one is going to be 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. So in your calculator, you can either put in parentheses 1 divided by 2 or put in 0.5. Why is it different using a decimal for 0.5 compared to 1/3?
Not repeating.
Right, because 1/3 would be 0.3 repeating, and 1/2 is just 0.5. Like, that's exactly what it is. So you could put in 1.5 right now. Divide by parentheses the square root of 3 divided by 2. I'm just taking the y divided by the x. I got 0.58. Anybody else get the same thing? Yeah, Morgan? Okay. All right, so 0.58 is what we're putting at 30 degrees. And then, how do I figure out the next one? Because it's the square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2. 1. 0.8, it goes by 0.3s. So 1 is about here, it's about 1/3 of the way to 1.2. $60 degrees. How do we figure this one out? Right, try this in your calculator right now. See if you can do it. Square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. Does everybody know how to get out of that square root?
What's that here?
Yeah, you press the right arrow to get out of the square root when you're under it. There we get 1.73. Okay, how about 90? Good, because it'd be 1 divided by 0 and you can't divide by 0. That's what we call an asymptote. So a no solution, take your marker and make a dotted line that goes through this. An asymptote is an invisible line that a function approaches but never quite gets to. So if you draw in this picture, it'll look like this. Like I'm drawing an arrow as in it's getting closer and closer and closer to that line. If you went up 1,000,000, it still wouldn't be at that line, but it'd be really close to it. So it's kind of like an invisible line that you cannot touch. And everybody has problems saying that word, so let's say it together. We're going to say it syllable by syllable, which means we are going to swear. Everybody ready? Okay, repeat after me. Ass. Im. Tote. Like a tote you're carrying, right? So asymptote. Okay. It's the M that gets everybody. Okay, let's try again. 120. We already kind of know this one, right? Because we just did it. We did the square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2, but it will be what? Negative. So it's going to be down at a negative 1.73.